Welcome back to the cabin. This week we have been working on finishing up the loft. The loft is pretty close to being finished. Last week we put the railing across, and now this week we've been working on the flooring. And so the flooring's been laid for a while, but we haven't done anything to it. And so the main focus this week was sanding it down. After we finished up the sanding, we then went and just cleaned everything really good as best we could. So we shop vacuumed up all the dust, and then I took a wet rag and wiped everything down like a little bit of a mop to get as much dust down as possible so we're ready to finish the flooring. Before finishing the flooring, we needed to finish up trimming out just the closet in the bedroom, and so we wanted to get all this done so that we wouldn't be making any dust or walking over the floor once it's done. And so Eric was just using some pine, and he cut it to length. Then he ripped it in half to make the trim for around the closet.
There.
Looks good. All done. We've also been filling all the little nail holes of the trim and sanding that down and getting everything ready to finish. So we're using tung oil. We've used it on the walls and we like how it worked out. But for the flooring, we've looked into it a little bit, and most people say that you should mix it 1-to-1 with mineral spirits or a citric solvent. And we just picked up what we could find at our hardware store, and it's just solvable mineral spirits. And it's something like turpentine almost that you would use to clean out paintbrushes and stuff. But what it does, it mixes with the oil, and then it helps open up the pores of the wood so the oil can penetrate down deeper. Our floors are just a pine tongue and groove flooring. It was actually considered cottage grade flooring or second grade, and it was significantly cheaper than conventional hardwood flooring. And so we paid, I think, under $1,000 for all the flooring for the full cabin, which if you were going to be getting hardwood, that's a lot less. We're gonna do 1 coat per day. I'll come down, do a coat, let it dry, and we'll see how many we have to do. Probably at least 3 coats, maybe more, but we'll see what it looks like after 3. For the walls, we didn't do the solvent. We just used the tung oil, and it was fine, but walls don't get as much traffic as a floor, so I think for the floor, we want to make sure that it is nice and durable. The reason we've chosen to go with the tung oil is because it's more of a natural finish than something like a varnish or a varathane.
A lot warmer out here than the bedroom.
Oh yeah, it's way warmer out here.
Nothing what's wrong with the bedroom, it's too hot.
I'm glad. I hate a hot bedroom. That's what I want on the wall there.
Yeah.
You might not like it as much as
I'll sleep down by the fire in the chair. With the cat here.
with the kitty cat. We really haven't used very much of this. Maybe half of what we did.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll need to buy that again,
Yeah.
and that might be enough. So the whole finishing is only going to cost us $80 because that was $40 for what's in that pail.
Yeah, so it'll be downstairs.
That's pretty good.
But downstairs is gonna take a lot.
Yeah, downstairs is going to take a lot more. I see a spot that we missed. Can you reach it? Yeah, there. Good job. That's it. What do you think of it?
I like it.
I like it. So this is day 2 up in the loft, and this is what the coat looked like from yesterday. We're pretty happy with how it turned out. It's not super orangey. I think on the camera it reads a little more warmer than it actually is in real life. But we're pretty happy with it. So we're going to do coat number 2 today, and we'll see how that looks. Possibly if we do one this morning, we might be able to do another one this evening. So we'll see how that dries. But we're going to get to it.
It's hard to tell now where you're putting it on, isn't it?
Yeah. One thing that's really nice is that if you ever need to refinish the flooring, you don't have to sand down the entire floor and take it back to nothing and then put a new coat on. You can just do a little area that you need to add more of. So if you have a ding in the floor and you need to sand it down, then you can just put the tung oil and solvent solution on that one spot and it'll look fine. So that's nice. And if over the years, if it wears down and you need to add more, you just add more right on top. From what I have read, the tung oil will help keep a more natural finish and the wood will age more naturally and not look so plastic on the surface. And what we've done on the walls, I do say it does keep a really natural looking finish. So that's what we want to do on the floors. Smell nearly as strong as it did before.
No. Probably because the windows open.
Do we want to maybe clean up first and then do a coat of it so we don't get it fumy?
Yeah, we can do that.
Or what do you think?
Yeah, let's do that. I can bring the truck down and you can load up the back of stuff that's not standing, you know what I mean? It's going up.
Things that are leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're back down at the cabin. We now have 2 coats on the floor and we're gonna put a 3rd coat on this evening. However, we decided before we do that, we want to work on cleaning out the cabin. We were going to do it after, but we found that it was quite fumy. And I think it's because we used mineral spirits instead of citrus solvent. And the citrus solvent, we looked for it, we can't find any. And so we're just gonna use the mineral spirits for now. But our plan is that if we ever do it in the future, we'll order some in. We just didn't want to wait for it to come. We probably should have been using a respirator this whole time. It's quite fumy, and we found we came back in the cabin the first time, it was really fumy. And so we opened up all the windows and it aired everything out, and so it's not bad at all right now. But before we do the 3rd coat this evening, we thought we might as well just get everything done we want to do in the cabin today finished. And so we're going to work on getting all of the stuff cleaned up because the cabin is rather cluttered with construction things. Where to begin? What?
A mouse in here.
A mouse? Where was it? Is it alive?
Yeah. We need a cat. There he is.
After we had the mouse out of the cabin and the main room tidied up, I went upstairs to get the next coat of the floor oil on while Eric finished cleaning downstairs. This was the 3rd coat we put on, and this time I decided to put a respirator on, which went much better, and I would highly recommend that if you're doing this to your floors. It was starting to get later in the evening, and so the sun was going down and it was getting dark in the cabin, but I was able to finish up putting all of the oil on before it got too dark to see in the cabin. We put one more final coat on the floor, so there's 4 in total, and we let that dry before coming down and moving our stuff into the loft. It's so exciting to have the loft done and being able to move furniture in. Eric and Grampy moved in our bed first. This bed Eric made for me as a wedding present. It's a big log bed that's very heavy, and so they moved that up into the loft and got that set up.
You go straight back towards the stove, man. You gonna sleep down here again tonight?
I don't know about tonight.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, probably does.
We're really happy with how the floors turned out. They look nice and smooth, and they look like they're going to work well for us and still have a natural looking finish to them. We moved in a dresser and a rug and have it looking nice and cozy. Although the whole cabin's not complete, it feels so good to have the loft done and have a room set up. So we were able to come down and spend the night at the cabin, and it just feels really good to have something finished. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.